Hey guys, so I'm back with a client makeup look. This is a really pretty glittery, just neutral eye with a red lip. I feel like this goes good with anybody's skin tone. Anybody can wear like a really pretty red lip for the holidays especially, and everybody loves to kind of get festive, but sometimes, you don't want like a smoky look. So I use the Kitten Karma Stila glitter for the center of her eyelids, and I like to apply it first just because I feel like it blends better when you put the shadows around it as opposed to the opposite way of doing the shadow first and then doing the glitter. So I kind of do both. So I put the glitter and then I do the transition colors around it. I used the Kylie Royal Peach palette, and I used the really light peach shade and then the one that's a little bit brighter just to brighten up the transition shade a little bit more, just because it looked a little too muted after I, did everything else. So I literally kind of did like a halo eye, I guess, but it doesn't look too dramatic just because the tones are really similar and it just looked a lot softer and prettier, but still, glam. So I love that. So here I am just kind of going again over with a little bit more glitter. And then I go in with a gel liner. I love gel liner just because it's easier to apply for me personally on clients as opposed to a liquid liner. So I'm using, oh gosh, I don't even remember which gel liner this is, but I will list everything in the bottom bar. And then after I did liner, I went in with some falsies. I do my clients' makeup like the same kind of steps I do my own. I do the eyes first, and then I do the face, and then after the face I kind of go back to the eyes if they need any like more kind of like blending, because you can tell a lot after you apply the base and everything else. You can see if you need things to be a little bit more blown out or darker or blended. So that's what I did here. So I went in with some lashes by Ardell. Those will also be in the bottom bar, and then I'm using this Urban Decay primer. It's like a primer that kind of like turns into your own skin tone, like the color of your skin tone, but I like it. It's just like smooths everything out. And then I went in with my Graftobian neutral palette. Yeah, I think I used my neutral palette, and she was literally like the last, like the first two shades, like the light shades. She was very fair, so I like to use this tiny little brush to kind of just apply it everywhere. It's so soft. It's a Real Techniques brush, and I just apply it everywhere I need to. And then if I need a little more coverage in certain areas, it helps me, kind of apply it in those areas without getting too much product. So I do that. I apply it with that brush, and then I kind of lightly go over it with a sponge. I'm using the red little Morphe sponge that they have, and I love this one for client makeup because it has that little edge right there, and it helps you get into certain areas that can be a little bit harder, like under the eye right there. And then I went in with light sand, Tarte Shape Tape Light Sand, for her concealer for all just the normal areas under her eyes and in her T-zone. And I also used the same sponge. And then after this, I did her contour. So I love this palette because it's a cream like foundation palette, so I can just go in with her perfect contour shade. Also, it's also in that neutrals palette, so I just used one of the medium shades in there just to give her a little shadow, and it looks so perfect on her skin tone. Not too dark, not too orange. It was just like a perfect little gray kind of brown, so it gave a really pretty shadow. I also did a light little nose contour. I was telling her that her nose is so cute. It's like what everybody wants their nose to look like when they contour it. So it didn't need to do much work there. And then I added just on the outer half of the lower lash line some of the peach like shadow from the top lid, you know what I'm talking about. And then I just went in with some Laura Mercier translucent setting powder, and I didn't leave it on too long. I didn't want it to look powdery. She didn't really crease or anything, so I wasn't too concerned about baking her for too long. And then I use the same, it's not the same, it's not mine, but it's the same one that I use for my brows. I got another Tonya Crook's little palette, brow palette, and it goes good for so many clients, like darker brows or lighter brows, just because it has those three shades right there. And I love to use the darker ones like on the outer kind of half, and then the front just to flick some hairs upwards, and it looks so natural and so pretty. So I love using this palette pretty much on everyone, unless I need like a really dark brow powder. I usually use my Morphe 350 powder for anything darker than this, but her hair was pretty dark, so it worked pretty good. And then I just went around and cleaned it up a little bit. I didn't really use any concealer, just kind of like blurred the edges. And then I went in with a liquid liner to kind of just darken up the lash band after the glue dried up. And then I went in with the grayer toned contour powder from the Kat Von D palette and just kind of set her contour areas. And then I went in with the 9A or A9 blush palette by Morphe for a little bit of blush. I feel like it worked really good with her skin tone. It had like a little bit of a peachy undertone. And then I just go in and blend everything out with a clean brush, and then I sprayed her with some Mario Badescu powder, what the heck, a spray, and then just did a little highlighting, and now I'm using Lip Sense Blue Red on her. This is like, she literally sent me a photo and this was the look, and I think we achieved it pretty well. It was just a neutral glittery eye with liner, lashes, and a red lip. She looked amazing. She was so sweet. We like chatted the whole time, as you could tell. But yeah, I hope you guys liked this video, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.